Alexander Usyk had a fantastic showing in his most recent fight against, I believe, Dubois, and many people are now going, yes, 100%, he's in the top 10 of all-time heavyweight greats ever. And I have to agree. When you look at this dude and you look at what he's capable of, the people he's beaten, I'm going, I don't know if there's many heavyweights who can take him out. And that's incredible because he is only something like 220 pounds, 6'3", and he's fighting dudes who far outweigh him, who have 20, 50, 60 pounds on him, plus inches. His skill set is amazing, and in particular, his footwork. His footwork is so fantastic, and I want to talk about his footwork from this fight where he scored an impressive KO. We're talking all about footwork today, and how important it is, and how it serves the best fighters in the world to accomplish being absolutely phenomenal at fight sports. And big exciting news for everybody out there who's looking to improve their movement, their footwork. I have a new Strike Ready course coming. We have early bird pricing on right now. This course is called Movement, and it focuses on footwork, balance, and distance. All the fundamentals, which often get missed when you go to striking class. But I'm gonna cover them. I'm gonna have, as normal, like all my other courses, 20 plus videos. We're gonna have live calls. And in this course, I've added follow along segments. So I'm gonna teach you fundamentals for 2, 3, 4 videos, and then give you a follow along section where I'll go, okay, here, get up, and this is what I want you to do. This is how we're gonna learn to move more effectively. Again, early bird pricing is available starting today. It's only around for 2 weeks. I'm gonna throw a link down below to Strike Ready Movement where you can join and get yourself registered, and doors are gonna close on this like they always do. So if you're not registered, you miss out on the live calls. Link down below. Now we're talking about Usyk and the spectacular footwork which he demonstrated in his fight. And one of the things which I note about this guy, and I think this is where many people start making mistakes. The thing that I note about him is his fluidity between one movement style and another movement style, and then to something else, and then to something else, and then he's bouncing, and then he's stepping, and then he's cutting angles. I think so many people have this idea that my footwork is very dynamic, and I'm gonna try and stay very dynamic, or I'm doing this, and I'm doing this the whole time. I think the greats can move from one style to the other, to the other, to the other, and have these smooth transitions when they're on offense or defense, or being a little bit more calculated, or going, okay, you know what, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. They know the times to bring out the different footwork. And being able to do that, I think, makes all the difference. So for example, if you were to go, okay, I'm early in the fight. You guys can jump up and do this with me if you want. We're early in the fight and we're trying to be very dynamic. We're trying to cause a lot of fakes. We're trying to make sure if they attack us, we can move back quickly. So we decide we're gonna be bouncy. Now, when you watch Usyk, it's not in place. Like this, he's very forward and back. And why is he forward and back? Because once you've moved from here to here, like this, you're much more dynamic. It's much easier to move backwards and create movement, or forwards once you've created it, or to be very explosive from the out and in, as opposed to just being on the spot. So he does this very effectively. And he's toying with his opponent, but at the same time ready to make that exit very quickly. And then sometimes we'll see him stop doing this motion, and then he's more stepping. And he's moving like this. Now, you're always coming back to the same stance. And that's something else I note about this guy. He's not sometimes here, and then sometimes here. His head's not way up here, and then way down here. He's very often in the same stance, whether he's stepping or he's bouncing. So being aware of that as you make these transitions is very important, because you want to recognize what your ideal footwork is, the spot where you feel most comfortable with defense, but also most comfortable with throwing big power shots, and you want to stay in that stance as frequently as possible. And then, because obviously the Ukrainians are so good at their fancy footwork, we'll still see him sometimes do something like this, to change angles, to throw his opponent off, to make them correct and reset. And that again is somewhere where he can go, okay, I'm mixing it up, I'm being creative, and I'm being very fluid from one style to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. but not getting caught on we need only one. That's where the mistake is made. Don't lock yourself in on thinking, I have to do this one dynamic or non-dynamic piece of footwork and I'm gonna stick with it. Transitions are important. And more so than that, I think, is being able to make those transitions seamlessly. And that's where many people get caught. They have trouble. And you'll see them. You'll see them moving around, trying to do this, and then they try to transition to something else, and it's like their whole style changes. So they go from, okay, I'm very bouncy, and now all of a sudden, oh, okay, I'm here. When you can move around and essentially keep the same guard, keep the same movement, and not compromise your offense or your defense, I think that is where footwork is best served, especially for the beginners out there who are looking to improve that skill set. How do we go about doing this, aside from just watching this video and making a mental note? Well, I think the very first thing you can do is transition between 2 or 3, probably just 2 styles of footwork, and go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, fairly dynamically. So if we're gonna go, okay, heels off the ground for the first one, and we're just gonna move around. Doesn't have to be only just forward and back. You can obviously move to the side, do a couple of this, and then all of a sudden just go, okay, now I'm gonna sit down. I'm just gonna do those steps. Throw a couple shots, do a little defense, get back to a little more dynamic. Throw some shots, start stepping. Dynamic, start stepping. And just do rounds like that, where you're transitioning on that footwork, not putting too much emphasis on, okay, is my defense perfect? Is my offense perfect? Just throwing shots and taking the mental power down low to what your feet are doing. I think that's one of the keys. Now, obviously in my course, I'm gonna have so many things for you where I show you footwork drills that you can do, things that you can do to learn to cut angles and all sorts of fancy stuff. But for the fundamentals, this is a great place to start. And then when we start this course in mid-August, I believe, you're gonna have so much more to add to your arsenal in terms of creating distance, cutting angles, all these fun, wild things. Plus, not just footwork, but also the ability to understand that distance, which is so important when you're doing footwork, because you do fancy footwork here as opposed to here, and one of them leads you to getting punched, the other one doesn't. And then on top of that, on top of the distance, we have the balance. Because what is all this without balance? Now, it's very easy to balance on 2 feet, but what happens, especially with kicking, when we're on 1 foot? And there are moments where maybe we get kicked, we kick, somebody catches, and we have to have really great balance. Or we're in here, and somebody gives us a shove, and we've got to, but get back in. This is all balance. And learning how to train that is so important. So I'm so looking forward to this course. We've done the offense, we've done the defense, we've done the takedowns, all of the fundamentals. The last piece, which we have not added to the strike ready fundamentals, is the movement. Footwork, balance, distance. It's gonna be awesome. Link down below, guys. Get yourself registered before the early bird pricing is gone. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you soon for another video.